I like what we did there. Again, once it's under 7, you're gonna call timeout there, or actually under 12, and then really you don't have an option. Because it's 3rd to 4th, you got to throw it into the end zone then. So to me, it's I think we handled it the right way. I do believe that you just re-rack the play, get it in bounce, and call timeout, and that's why we held it, and didn't work out the way we wanted it to.
Now, I hope for those that did not get a chance to listen to what was just played have gotten the chance to listen to what was said. Now, if you haven't had a chance to watch what happened at the end of the Detroit-Chicago Bears game, Thanksgiving game, which was the first game on the slot yesterday for the American Thanksgiving tradition, please go to your YouTube. I know most of you like to play on your phones, and please check that out. I was able to, fortunately, blessings. Streaming is a great thing. I was at work and, it took a couple of seconds to sit down and say, you know what? I Googled the score. Actually, didn't Google. I went on the Score app, one of the best sports apps ever. Went on the Score app and saw that the score was 23-20 and the Bears were moving the ball. I'm like, wait a minute. This might be a good inning. So I Googled it. Not Googled it, sorry. I went on, streamed, watched it. First of all, the play calling was fair, Thomas Brown, the offensive coordinator, did what he could. But with 30 seconds left, the clock is running out. You got one timeout. He did not call a timeout. And my takeaway from that ending of the game, which I feel they could have at least got a field goal. They should have gotten a field goal. The coach almost looked like he did not know what he was doing. He was standing there looking, and he had no clue of what's going on. Like, he was completely bewildered of what had just happened. Everybody's like, even the Detroit sidelines, like, this guy's not going to call a timeout. Like, it was one of the most bizarre endings I've ever seen in an NFL game. And I'm like, this guy's going to do it again. He did it not Detroit, sorry. He did it in the game against Washington. He's not going to do this again. In situations like that, you don't go after the rookie quarterback. The rookie quarterback is not going to do things out of the box. He's not going to take the initiative. He's going to listen to everything that is being said by the coaching staff, head coach and offensive coordinator. He's going to take everything from them. So you can't blame Caleb Williams for this one. This is solely on the coach. And Matt Eberflus ran out of chances last year. Now, everybody says he should have been fired before he got on the plane, blah, blah, blah. He should have been fired before Hard Knocks last year. Do you guys know that this man has not won a Sunday road game? If you think I'm lying, again, if you're scrolling on Twitter, scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media platform you are on, you have the time available, go Google it. Matt Eberflus has never won a road game on Sunday. He's won 3 road games. 2 on Monday, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, I apologize. 2 on Monday, 1 on Thursday. And he lasted this long. Remember, Steve Wilkes got fired last year as a scapegoat in the Super Bowl. Steve Wilkes got to the Super Bowl as the defensive coordinator and got fired. That's a whole different conversation. I just want to show you guys something. Now, you can say I'm playing the race card. It's not a race card. Yeah, it could be. No, it is. It is the race card, but it's also the scapegoat thing. And I was like, Steve Wilkes got fired. This guy still kept his job. That was the first thing I thought after Steve Wilkes got fired in February. That was the first thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Matt Eberflus is going to keep his job? He has not won a road game on Sunday. Coming into this season, he's never won a road game on a Sunday. They go through hard knocks. They cut good players here and there. And he's still good. The one that should have been cut was him. He should have been cut. So, I mean, Detroit won 23-20. But this is another example of, I don't know, like this Pick 6 episode, folks, is very intriguing for me because I was going to wait until, after the KC Raiders game, which is currently happening as I do this podcast. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this a little different. I'm going to focus on the 3 games, but I'm going to focus on this first. Usually this is the main event. This is the main event now. We're going to kick off with this. And I'm just sitting here saying to myself, like, what is this? You did it with Justin Fields. I've been saying this. Now, I'll say this, though. Caleb Williams has thrown for almost 600 yards and thrown 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games since Thomas Brown has become the offensive coordinator. He's now the interim head coach. So you could see something is working. Well, have I been wrong about Caleb Williams? I have to say I have. I felt Justin Fields was a better quarterback. I still think he's a good quarterback, but Caleb Williams is going to be a good quarterback under the right guidance. I think he's on his way. Now, if they keep Thomas Brown, great. If they go out and find somebody, they better find somebody good. Because Chicago's a mess, just like the Jets and just like the Giants with this quarterback thing. Trubisky, Fields, this one, that one. You might as well use Benny the Bull, whoever it is. Like, this has been a pit fire for the last, almost 10 years. So you finally got a quarterback who's working. Roll with Thomas for the rest of the year. If Thomas is doing something, you give him the job. But I know they're going to find what they like. But Mr. Foles in Chicago, he's going to have to figure out something because that game yesterday, I'll be honest with you, I swore Chicago was going to come back, either tie the game or take it to overtime. So, and excuse me, guys, I got a little bit of a cold. Actually, I do have a cold. I'm fighting through a cold, but nevertheless, business still goes on. Podcast still's got to go. Life still goes on. So, but yeah, that was apparently he had a morning meeting or morning press conference, and then literally at lunchtime, they said, "Yo, you got to go." So it's crazy how, this business works, but when you're coaching young talent, you got to make the right decisions so that you could build on what you're doing. You can't be incompetent like that. Like, that was an incompetent move he made. He uses the timeout. He goes through whatever the process. He loses, fine. But you have a timeout left. Timeouts under 2 minutes when you're down are gold cards. They're gold cards. Trust me. This ain't a video game. This is real life. And I just feel like the last couple of weeks, Matt Eberflus has just robbed Chicago of games. There was a road game for the taking, and they just choked it. So I don't know what else to say. But that's how I'm starting off this special edition of the Thanksgiving edition Pick 6 podcast. And currently right now, after the first quarter, Chiefs are up 3-0 against the Raiders. Again, folks, division games, man, division games. These things are tight, so that's what's up. But the next game I'm going to talk about, it's going to be quick. This is going to be a really smooth podcast, folks. So, stay tuned. Cowboys and the Giants. The Giants, a team with no quarterback. So Danny DeVito is not playing. He's out. So they go to Drew Lock, and it's just one of those, I kind of caught it a little bit stream-wise, but it never really caught my eye, and I never really stuck to watching it. 27-20, the Cowboys won. And Drew Lock, pedestrian, 21 for 32, 178, 1 interception. And then on the other end, Cooper Rush, pedestrian also, 21 for 36, 195, 1 touchdown. No interceptions. And Cooper Rush wasn't sacked at all. He was never touched. He was never touched. But funny enough, Drew Lock had 4 carries for 57 yards and 1 touchdown. So I guess Drew Lock was also the running back too, because he led the team in rushing yards with 57. I just don't understand what's going on. Malik Neighbors, 8 receptions, 69 yards. I mean, they got to get a quarterback in New York. I don't know. I don't care who it is. They need to get something. The Giants and Jets. New York City right now has a pit fire of teams, and they don't even play in New York. They play in goddamn New Jersey. I don't know what to say about that, but Cowboys, 27-20. Let's go to the next one. This is really another one that I'm like, wow. Packers 30-17 over the Dolphins. Jordan Love, 21 for 28, good. 274, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, was never touched. It was good. He was very, because I watched clips of that game. He was patient. He was patient in that game, and he made some big plays. And, and when you have a coach like Matt LaFleur who knows how to do things will be fine. He's a good young coach also, which is a good thing. Jacobs had a rushing touchdown. Jaden Reed had 2, end zone type of guy, so that was good. I mean, and then I got to say this. He's another quarterback I'm not too fond of, but I got to give him his flowers. Tua Tagovailoa, man, the last couple games he's been firing. 37 for 46. I don't feel he should have thrown that much, but they're not a cold weather team, Miami. That's why they're never going to win. 365, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He got sacked 5 times, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is, Tyreek Hill with that fluky touchdown catch. I don't know if you guys saw that. Wow. Anyways. But, yeah, that's my Thanksgiving edition on those 3 games. But another thing I want to discuss is Vikings signed Daniel Jones. And what's my take on that? Very simple. Is Daniel Jones a great quarterback? No. Is he a good quarterback? No. Is he above average? Right now, no. But if there's anybody, and I got to give Kevin O'Connell his props. As a motivator, as a guy that motivates players to come out and play and give their effort, he's one of the best in the business. He's still learning as a coach. There's still some things that he has done that I'm like, no. But the best part about him is he's a master motivator. And he's going to get there as a coach. He's going to be tested. The team's 9-2 right now. He's going to be tested, so he needs to continue this trend, how to get to the next level, how to win a Super Bowl. He's been on a Super Bowl winning team, so now he's got to take that culture and take his experiences and continue to build. And I think Daniel Jones will be a serviceable quarterback once he's done with him. Not every coach could help you. It's another example. Look what's going on with the Bears, what I just talked about. Eberflus wasn't the guy. And I don't want to hear this thing about, defensive coordinators are not good coaches and da-da-da-da-da. Bill Belichick has got 8 Super Bowls or 9 Super Bowls, 8 Super Bowls. 2 as a defensive coordinator, 6 as a head coach. Sean McDermott is not too bad of a coach. Todd Bowles is not too bad of a coach. So I don't want to hear about this defensive coordinators are not good coaches. Come on, guys. To me, it's not just about the coaching. It's the attitude and the type of motivation that you bring to your players. Because most of the game of football, most sports, it's about effort. The talent is always... Players are drafted every year in sports. Players are drafted every year. Talented players across the world in each of the how many thousands of sports across the world. Baseball, football, basketball, soccer, or as I would say, football, because it's American football, but that's a whole different conversation. But across the globe, players are being drafted. Hundreds and thousands of players are being drafted. And they're drafted based on their talent. You got to put the effort in. Zion Williamson, perfect example. Heck of a talent, no effort. And you see what's happening right now. So at the end of the day, it's about putting in the effort. And I think Kevin O'Connell is going to be able to do something with Daniel Jones. It's all about effort. When you see these teams pull out these games, you're like, oh, this team has got no talent. I don't care about talent. Effort is what gets you through the door. Talent will get you inside. But what's going to keep you in that door is the effort. And I always say this all the time. A lot of people nowadays, they envy effort. They don't respect effort. They don't treasure effort because most people, they're not used to it. They've been living through the talent, through each doors, whether it's high school football, going into college, going into the NFL, basketball, junior basketball, OBA, AAU, all the levels of basketball. They get to the pros, and the effort, they need to put in effort, and they can't do it because they've been told that, nah, you good enough. Same thing in the NFL, nah, you good enough. So at the end of the day, it's effort, and I think Coach O'Connell is going to get the best effort out of Daniel Jones. So, and that's what it is. And another thing I want to touch before I shut down this special edition of Pick Six, I want to talk about something that I read about Kyle Shanahan saying that he prefers skilled players over an elite offensive line. Well, here's my answer to that. How many Super Bowls have you won? Because your two top receivers are, to me, they're C-plus receivers. Deebo Samuels is a great version, supposed to be a good version of a better version of Percy Harvin. He's not even close. Brandon Ayuk he's not better than Jordan Addison. He's not better than Tyler Boyd. He's not better than Austin the third in Pittsburgh. He's not better than Pittman in Indianapolis. So I don't know what he's talking about when he says talented. And I'm not going against these guys because I think these are two great human beings. But as talent-wise, you got to talk the truth. And what effort. Let's say this. If Deebo Samuels could be good, he's a big, strong guy, and I see the talent in him. The effort he puts in his outfits going to the games, if he does that with himself as a football player, I can't say nothing about him. I could talk about effort because I know what it takes. Effort is something that will change your life forever. That's all I'm going to say. Folks, that's enough talking from me. Special edition of You Know What? Pick Six Podcast. As again, you know the deal. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It's coming. It's always here. And let me see if I can give you guys a quick update before I go. Yep, tie game. Raiders and Chiefs. Tie game. Division games, folks. If you're watching that game, enjoy. Anyways, I'm out. Peace, respect, wherever you are in the world. I'm out.